Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com. And I am so happy to be with you here tonight. It is time for Thursday night stamping with Candy. And we are going to talk shaker cards tonight. So we are going to be shaking, having fun, and doing a little interactive element that you can do on many of your cards. Having a shaker card in your skill set is a really good thing to have. So that is where we are going tonight. Let me know if you are here with me live. And if you are watching the replay, I would love for you to put replay in the comments. And if you are watching on YouTube, if you will give me a thumbs up and a follow, I would love that. Hello there, Grace, and hello there, Kathy. Welcome, welcome. Let's see who else is here. Okay, I'm in camera range. This is good. Oh, actually, I'm more in camera range than I want to be. I think I've got my tummy in there. Oh, okay. You're going to end up getting feet in here and everything. I've got a new camera. I've got a new phone, and it seems to kind of be showing up differently. Hey, Corinne, I'm glad you're here. I think I need to just move this down a wee bit. Let's see. Okay, I think that's better than it was. So, you know, I got one of these fancy phones now, and it kind of shows a lot more of my screen on my table, which I think is a good thing. So, hope you are having a good day. I appreciate y'all that are sharing. You know, even if nobody looks at the video that you share, it's all about the algorithm, and that has something to do with that has something to do with Facebook and things that I don't understand, but it somehow helps our channels, and that's a good thing, because the more people that we get to fall in love with the joys of stamping, the better off we all are, because we can share some sunlight and some joy in our world that desperately needs it. So let me show you a little bit of what we're going to be using tonight. I'm actually featuring, this is my May card club for Candy's Card Club, which is a subscription that is open to anyone. Hey, Linda, I'm glad you're joining us as well. So this is kind of an interesting thing that Stampin' Up! Is doing, where we're bridging the new annual catalog with our online exclusives. And Stampin' Up! Continues really to do that. Now, I can't open this up and show you until this goes live, but I did want to tell you, I think it's on page 71. This paper is called Celebratory Sips. It's a fabulous paper. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to show you. It has all the new in colors in it and so many other colors as well. And in the annual catalog, there is a stamp set that coordinates, not this one. There's a stamp set that coordinates, and it is a little bit more geared towards scrapbooking, although you could use it for card making as well. And then you can also get the designer paper with a sticker sheet, definitely aimed at our scrapbookers. But even on that page, it has a little icon that tells you you can look into the online exclusives for coordinating products. And that's where Cheers and Sips comes in. So the card making bundle is actually an online exclusive that coordinates with paper that's in the annual catalog. It's also in the, it's kind of back and forth, and we just learned to toggle back and forth between them. So this is a fun stamp set. It has a couple of different drink styles, and I'm thinking these are for punch, these are for mocktails, cocktails, everything in between. So hello, Gail and Cynthia. I'm so glad you're here, and welcome, Susan. So you can, what I like is you've also got, I think this is probably like a rosemary branch, and this is probably celery leaves, and then a little leaf. But, that can go for things beyond, the drinks. You have an olive and a cherry and either a raspberry or blackberry. You can make it whatever you want. A couple of cute words, a sweet little umbrella, and some ice cubes. And then, you know, this one, when it comes to the dies, now this will cut out your glass, your tall glass. But you can also, now this is one of those, it just imprints it. It doesn't cut it out. Well, yeah, it just makes a print in the, it makes a texture in the cardstock. So lots of fun elements. Yeah. So that is the bundle that I am featuring on Candy's Card Club this month. Hello, Estella. I'm glad you're here. Now, let me show you the paper because I think it's really something stellar, and I think it's something we're going to use all year. This is available in our annual catalog, which means we will have access to it all year, and that's a fabulous thing. Now, yeah, I've been cutting this up. So this is just fun. I mean, it's just fun. And then, yes, Corinne, you can use that little texture on other things as well, which is so much fun. So this is Strawberry Slush. Such a fun new in color. And you know what? Let me do it where we can kind of see front and back a little easier. So this is just a big floral design. And look at the other side. So we've got lots of, that looks to me like pumpkin pie. Now it does have Timid Tiger, peach pie. Yeah, this looks like peach and pumpkin to me. You know, I will say that when they tell you the colors that are in the card, in the designer series paper, there's also oftentimes shades in between. So we can see Berry Burst, and we can see the Bubble Bath, which they're telling us are in here. But then, you know, lots of other things in between. So, you know, you're not even just limited to all of these colors, and there are a lot. So here we go. So look at that. That's a great background pattern in Old Olive. And then the other side is this lovely floral pattern. So what's so versatile about this paper is, yes, you have the celebratory sips, but you also have some just kind of general lovely florals and leaves and all kinds of good things. So this pattern, is our Strawberry Slush, which is just such a great, great color. It's a returning in color, so they obviously knew that we loved it before and we were going to need to use it again. And these are just, you know, this is like sangria, or there's just so many interpretations of this paper. Now, this particular piece here, you can fussy cut, but a couple of these glasses will cut out with your dies. Now, the die is going to cut out the glass and not the umbrella, so you would need to fussy cut on these. But aren't they just fun? You could even go through and fussy cut some of these little flowers. Now, the other side of this is that very, very strong piece with all of that. I'm a Blackberry Bliss fan, huge Blackberry Bliss. That's a mouthful. So this is a great piece of paper. Now, I have to tell you, this is probably my favorite pattern in the whole pack. This is like Mondrian art. I think Mondrian, the artist, was kind of known as the founder of the modern art movement. And I love his art. He has some of this kind of work in it. And that's what this reminds me of so very much. And the other side is this very quiet not Secret Sea, it's Cloud Cover, and my other piece is over there on my cutting station. So just really soft. This almost reminds me of like a glass that has those little stars. So that's my favorite piece. And then this piece is super fun with just all the little bits and pieces you would use as accompaniments to drinks, but for some, just in your kitchen, you know. And then there's a really, really deep Secret Sea. So it's just great, great colors and patterns. Hello, Sharon, and welcome. And yes, we are just in love with the paper already. Now, I will give you a little teaser, and that is that I'm going to be featuring this paper along with two of my scrapbooking friends, and we're going to be doing a scrapbook group starting in May. And I'm teaming up with my couple of friends who we used to run a Sweetly Scrapped club together. And we're going to be doing a scrapbooking group, and we're going to be using this paper in May. So if you are going to jump into my card club for May, you could actually jump into scrapbook as well and get a lot of bang for your buck with this paper. So with my card club this month, you're going to get a half a pack of this paper. You're going to get a full roll of this lovely gold striped ribbon. It gives just nice little, just a little bit of a touch of shine, but it is, it's like a mesh, so you can see through it, which I really, really like. And then you're also, this is all I have left. You're going to get one container of this itty bitty bouquet mix. That's all I have left because I've been using it on all the projects. So let me just show you the projects that we're doing for Card Club. Hey, Jolene from Minnesota, we're glad you're here. So here is one of our faux shakers using that Mondrian art piece of background paper. And you see how, depending on where you cut it, you can get, there's also a lot, there's a whole piece, a whole section that has a lot of the darling duckling. So lots of yellows in it. So then we're also going to be using those same little elements. You can glue them down and just use them, just scatter them across for just a little bit of shine on our standard cards, for lack of a better word. And then I also use them to highlight these pillar cards. So this is, we always have at least two fun folds on our Card Club cards. So here, and then that's where you, this is where you do your message on the back here. So a couple of pillar cards, and then this new triple fold hidden door, I think. This is a new fun fold to me, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And so I've just scattered a few of these in here as well. And this is the second version. So in my card club, we do, oopsie, I think I just came loose there. We do two each of 4 designs, but my each design is a little bit different. So, okay, there we go. There we go. I need to glue that down a little bit better because it's flying off and we don't want that happening. So, hey, Margaret from Virginia, I'm so glad you are here. Isn't this fun? It's just a fun fold. And it's really not difficult. So, yeah, I'll be obviously doing a video for this, but I wanted to do, give you some tips and tricks on these faux shaker cards. So the faux shaker is different from a full-on shaker. So let me just show you the difference. So this is, I was playing around and this didn't make the cut, but this was a, this is a traditional shaker card. And you can see how this is raised up because I've got a, what do you call it? A window sheet here. And you enclose your shaker elements in the window sheet, but you do have to raise it up considerably in order to get the shake going. So what we're going to do tonight is what's called a faux shaker. And there's a couple of things that you need for it. And I will use these. Now, let me just show you on your elements. This is the one that's coming out in the new catalog. And they're really, really sparkly. They are gorgeous. I mean, look at the way they're like holographic. These were in our spring catalog, but they have carried over, and they're the ones that I use. I wanted to key in on all those blues. And hey, Linda, I'm so glad that you are here with me tonight, and I'm glad you're excited about the scrapbooking. Yeah, we're going to have fun with it. And welcome, welcome, Darlene. So these are what I would recommend for a faux shaker card. This is also in our, I think it's in our annual catalog, might be in the online exclusives. These have been around for a while. They are thicker, and they're actually, you know what, let's just use them tonight and see how we get on. you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. The other thing you're going to use is you're going to use your tear and tape, and I really like to use an embossing buddy. You know, this stuff, particularly the sequins, has a lot of static, and this is going to help minimize that. So I'm actually going to take this really quiet pattern. Let's see, I think that would go. Maybe we're just going to stick with this tonight. Yeah, we'll stick with this one tonight. We are going to stick down a piece of designer series paper. Now you can see how there's the more yellow. Now another trick, little tip I did on these is once you cut your piece down, you may have to trim some of the white so that you get your pattern in a way that it's going to really go with your design. So you may have to, you know, use a little bit, you know, trim it so that you get it where you want it, because that looks a little bit funky. Although, having said that, if you had a lot of sequins down at the bottom, it would be okay. So let's start with some seal. And I am going to make sure that this is really, really stuck down. I don't want it coming up at all because I don't want the sequins getting in between my papers there. And this is Secret C, 5 1/4 by 4, just one of our standard panels here. And this is, I'm off. Good Lord, have mercy. How did I do that? Ay. I thought I was straight. As my daddy used to say, you got to hold your mouth right. And that's about the long and short of centering things sometimes. Okay, that's better. Now I'm going to make sure that I've really got that stuck down because I lifted it and I don't want that lifting on me. You know, you can lift your seal for a little while and then after a couple of hours, you really don't want to. Now, this is my cloud cover. Super excited about this color. Really, really hoping that they are able to get the ink sorted out with that. It's the ink pad that they're having problems with. So they are working on it and hoping to have it fixed shortly. Now, this is my card base, but I'm going to put that aside. Okay. Now, here is my, this is my panel. And I'm going to pop this inside here. This is one of our clear envelopes. Now, our clear envelopes are now, you can find them online. I can give you the item code for them, but they are not actually in the annual catalog. It doesn't mean they're not available. It just means they're not taking up real estate in our magazine style catalog. So what I'm going to do this embossing buddy is part of our embossing essentials. I will tell you that when you buy this, you know, it has, I don't know, it's like $28. You get the tweezers and all kinds of, this thing will last you like 15 years. I finally went through a full one and you won't see it on here, but trust me, it will minimize your, the static in your shaker elements. Now I'm going to tuck this in and I want to make sure that the front is facing the front and the back is in the back. And I want to pull it all the way down to the bottom. Now I'm going to have a little gap at the top and that's okay because I'm going to fold that over. Now I'm going to hold this way. And I know some people will use a spoon, but I just shake some. And the key, again, is another little tip. You want to have enough that it's going to shake around, but not so much that it just like obliterates the whole design. So that looks to me like a pretty good amount that is going to shake for me. I didn't know that I would have a little bit left, but I think I'm going to just leave it like that. And now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to very tightly close that up, make sure everything is stuck down. And now I'm going to take my tear and tape And I actually like to stick it down here first and lift this. I'm looking for my little pieces I'm going to put on the front of my card. And I laid them down somewhere. So that is going to hold that in place. I want it really held strongly in place. Now, you might be tempted to come in here and cut this. Do not do that, because you don't want anything that could, where you would have little bits of your sequins escaping. So now I'm going to put more tear and tape all around the edges here, because I am going to put this on my card front. And I want it pretty close to the edge. You can put this up on dimensionals. I prefer not to. For one thing, you need a lot of dimensionals. And I find that the security of the tear and tape is really, yes, flip-flaps, you are absolutely right, Linda, that flip-flaps make for great shaker cards too. Or shaker elements, you know, they can be an element in a scrapbook album as well, or a scrapbook page. So now I'm going to just lift these little guys, and it really is essential that you use tear and tape. I have not found anything that is comparable. So, you know, we used to use the old red line tape. I think you can still purchase it. A couple of things I don't like about it, I think tear and tape is a great improvement, is that your red line tape you have to cut, which is just bothersome. And you talk about electricity, holy cow. The little white piece that I just removed has got so much electricity that you just can't even function hardly. Okay, so there is my shaker. And it just, you know, it just has that surprise and delight for anybody of any age. Just wants to see how many can I get moving, you know. Kids love these. Even our men love these. Now, this is my original, and I was going to do the same thing if I can find my pieces. Let's see. Let's put away the cards. Aha, I just found it. So I'm kind of changing things up a little bit, and I'm using a color scheme from Stampin' Up. Let me show you. And we will see what we think about this. So here is my Stampin' Up color scheme I'm using. I'm wanting to have a little bit more of a slightly more masculine, or at least more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more of a tailored look. I mean, I think this is pretty tailored, but these colors are definitely feminine. And my purples are definitely more feminine. So this is my attempt at a slightly more, slightly more unisex card. Now I need to put something in this drink. And, you know, we don't have these, I've been using my strawberry slush with a blender brush blending brush, because we don't have those blends yet. But, what could we do? Oh, you know what? Maybe we could do a little petal pink in there. Let's see how that looks, and we'll just try it. Let's see if we like it. Let's start with the light, and let's just see if we can make something nice here. Oh, I kind of like that color. Does it look like a punch of some sort? Now, let's see if this is going to be. Not bad, not bad. Now, they're also telling us a little bit of old olive might work. I don't know that I like that darling duckling there. I don't know, it looks a little bit funky. What do you guys think? I like that. I think the yellow is throwing me off. So we might just go with, oh, pumpkin pie. You know what? That was my problem. I looked at peach pie. That says pumpkin pie. So let's try a little piece of pumpkin pie. And let's just see if we like that better. Of course, I've also got a lot of pink in these little guys down here. So we could think of, well, we could go with peach pie. Or not peach pie, that's petal pink. Peach pie is too orange. We could go with Calypso Coral. I kind of like that. That might work. Let's try that, and let's just do a little, I'm not going to run it through the machine and all of that. Let's see. Azure Afternoon. Well, that might just work. If we brought in another blue. So I was trying to maybe pick up a contrasting color. Oh, you know the other thing we could do? We could, let's put these little guys in here. Let's do the, I like that. And then what we could do is just a little tiny strip with, let's celebrate. Okay, so we kind of go in a different direction, but I will bring the blues over here and we'll just kind of look at blues and see what we think about that. I do like what I like to do as a kind of virtual designing with you guys. Okay, so here is our card. Now that's Balmy Blue, and it picks this up, but I don't like the way it works with that. There's Azure Afternoon, which again picks up this blue. Not sure about the way I want it with Secret Sea. Now I could just go with more cloud cover. That's an idea. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do our little greeting on cloud cover and just keep it in the blues with our pinks as an, oh, now you see that looks pretty good with it. I do like, this is Misty Moonlight. I do like the Misty Moonlight with it. Where when you go with, see, Pool Party just does not, it's not the right color at all. And I feel like that's just a bit bright for what we're doing here. So let's just go with that and see what we come up with. So let's get the ice cubes in our drink. And since we don't have cloud cover ink, we're going to stamp off with cloud cover, not cloud cover. We're going to stamp off with Secret Sea. Now there is full strength, and they're stamped off once, and they're stamped off twice. I think once will be okay. I didn't want to make it too strong, but I think I can put that right down like so. Oh yeah, I like that. And then I think, Kathy likes the Misty Moonlight. I think so too. I think it looks good. It's kind of in that kind of, to me, these are almost like what we used to call dusty colors, where it's kind of has that soft, muted, almost, you know, with a grayish tone to it. So let's just see if we want to do a little bit of this color, or if we want to bring in that little Misty Moonlight. Let's see. Now the other thing that might work That's not bad. Lost Lagoon with this would be good, but not with the I don't like it with what we have going on here because of the colors in our sequins. So I think what we're going to do is make a couple of tiny little strips, and let's use that as our greeting. I think a little 1/4 inch strip is going to be just what we want. You know, I haven't done virtual designing with you guys in a while, and I've missed it. I have to tell you, I do like it a lot, where we just kind of put our heads together and come up with something. You know, I have a general plan, and then we kind of get going and we do other things as well. So let's do a little misty moonlight, and we'll do a little cloud cover, and we'll see what we like the best. Kathy, you have a good eye. So let's try both of these. And I'm thinking that if we do it, yeah, that yellow is just not working for me. I think it's because of the color of my sequins that I'm not liking it. So I think I'm going to do it like a couple of times, and then we will cut it off and see what we think about that look. So let's celebrate once and twice. Let's see if I can get it relatively straight. Ooh, I think I'm going to have to try that one again. Let's celebrate there, and let's celebrate there. And I think my ink pad is really juicy. I think that we are going to cut that off and just go with one, because I don't think I can do them twice like that and get them straight. At least not unless I line them up and do a little more concentrating, which is not where my head is right now. I've been doing a whole lot of mail outs today, and that's where my brain is still. Okay, let's see what we think now. We'll do a little slice like so. That's pretty cute. Or we could do a slice like so. And let's see if we like that better. Okay, what are we thinking, ladies? I almost think that the Misty Moonlight's a little bit too dark there. Ideally, if I had been able to heat emboss that, I think it would be great, but I think that for my quick and easy demonstration, I think that's going to be pretty good. Okay, we're still going with the Misty Moonlight. Let's see. It definitely gives a contrast. So while we are weighing in and people are giving me their votes, I'm going to go ahead and stick my drink glass down. The other thing I could do is we could put a little lime slice on here. You know, the green that they recommend for this is Old Olive. So we could add... Okay, Corinne likes, okay, we're getting a lot of cloud cover. Okay. So let's do this here. And let's do this here. And then let's think about, do we want to add a little pop of color with a slice of citrus? I think that's probably going to be too much, but, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. In my originals, I will show you, I did have, oh, here we go. So on my originals, I did this, but I also had a much larger, and I think that balance, you know what, I'm going to, well, can I pull that one off? No. Okay, let's think about, and I could even do it a citrus slice. Oh, now that might work. Let's do it in petal pink. Instead of adding green, because even though the green I think would coordinate, I think the petal pink is what's going to work with what we already have going here. And what I did here was I stamped it in cloud cover on top of Misty Moonlight. Now, that's an idea. That is definitely an idea that would probably look really good. Now, do I have a chamois nearby? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. So, what did you guys do for dinner tonight? I actually cooked tonight. Well, I cook a lot of nights, but I usually cook a couple of times a week mainly, and then we kind of do either creative leftovers or different versions of what I've made. And tonight I made catfish stew, which I hadn't made in a while. But I finally got some catfish at a decent price. So I had lots of bell peppers and onions and garlic and a little fresh ginger and lots of fresh tomatoes, and it turned out really good. It's one of those really quick meals you can make. Lots of spices in it. I'm looking for some snips, and they are they should be right here, but they are not. Now, I will tell you that there is a little die for this, but I'm just going to fussy cut it. I'm going to just fussy cut it because I'm right here, and this is going to be quicker while people are voting. I will tell you that when you use the die for this, it's excellent. I like the fact that it has a little bit, it's not totally round, and that actually helps you find where the die goes, and then you can just use your little mini cut and emboss to do that. But I just thought, well, I'm just going to do this. Now, I'm going to slice this like so, and we can pop this. Oh, I kind of think it's cute. What do we think? What do we think? I might need to move it down a little bit. I think it's pretty cute. Grilled shrimp, rice, and stewed tomatoes. Well done, Sharon. I like it. Yeah, oh, Jolene, you went to your favorite pizzeria. Wow. Oh, I love pizza. I don't eat it very much at all, just because of my husband's dietary restrictions. So if you're gluten-free and dairy-free, pizza is challenging. But, you know, we have health things, and the dietary things really make a huge difference. So we are going with them. And, you know, there's grace to do what we have to do. Grilled shrimp, rice, and stewed tomato. So tell me, Jolene, what kind of pizza did you get? I'm kind of a cheese pizza. I'm a pretty plain pizza girl. Because I want to taste the pizza. I'm not big on tons of toppings. My grandchildren, all of my grandchildren, of course, love, love, love pizza. So we will get pizza for the grandkids sometimes. Okay, anybody else going to tell me what we're thinking about this? Do I want the citrus slice, or do I want to leave it off? Do we like it, or should I take it off? Let's celebrate. Simple or stepped up? What do we think? Do we like that? It is just fun, isn't it? I will say these are very vibrant colors, so it's a very different look. Everything else is the same. Okay, Kathy likes it there. And this is kind of funny. I didn't realize, but when I placed this glass, it almost looks like it's on like this is a wine stem. I didn't really mean it that way, but it kind of looks like a stemmed glass. Okay, everybody's saying keep it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dimensional behind here. And that is going, ooh, sausage, pepperoni, green olive, mush. Oh, Lord have mercy. And see, I'm a green olive girl. Black olives, I'm not too keen on, but I love green olives. And I love mushrooms, extra cheese. Oh, Sounds divine. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for all of your input. That is our quick and easy faux shaker card. Here's my originals that we're doing in Card Club, and that gives you an extra way to use all of your products that you're getting in Candy's Card Club. So don't forget, registration is open through May the 12th. And I'm glad you like the slice scale. I think it's a really fun element. I like the fact, to me, this is almost like a little mini grapefruit piece. This one is a little bit more like an orange. You can make them into limes, lemons, whatever your heart desires. And of course, sometimes we just want it to work with the color scheme. We're not looking for it to be super, accurate, like the way it is in nature or whatever. We just want it to blend with our design. So I think that is definitely a card I could give one of my sons very happily. These are a little bit more feminine. Having said that, my guys would probably be happy to have them anyway. Okay, so tips and tricks. Remember, that's kind of a happy, I forgot to stick this down, or I didn't have enough adhesive, and it just went on an angle. I think I like that. That's a happy accident. Remember that your tips and tricks are that when you're using the faux shaker, you need to have a clear envelope, preferably a flatter element as opposed to the thicker dots, and use an embossing buddy to minimize the static electricity. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your input and your encouragement. I appreciate you ever so much. Thanks again. Don't forget to follow me and to sign up for Candy's Card Class for May. Take care and God bless.